Hello, everybody. It's Denise Roberts, and I'm excited to give you an update on our 12-week To Your Bigger Self program. You see, this was a milestone week for these 5 women that are committed to transforming their current situations because this was week 4, and this was our first check-in. Where are you in relationship to the goals that you set? Well, I'd like to tell you a story about Judy. Judy is one of our participants who, like many of us, created her business out of a need. You see, years earlier, Judy was an exchange student in France, and all excited, but quickly felt very uncomfortable with the fact that people had a hard time understanding her. You see, her accent wasn't the same as a French person's accent. So she got tired of being asked over and over again, sorry, what'd you say? Could you repeat yourself? I didn't understand. And it literally was very debilitating for her. So when she comes back to the United States, she decided to commit herself and her life towards helping non-native English speakers not feel the same way. So she has spent years of her life, built a wonderful business to help people reduce their accent and be seen, heard, and valued for their skills and not be lumped into a category of, let's stay away from that person, I don't really understand them. So especially in this time of diversity and inclusion, these people were being excluded. Not intentionally, but just because people had a hard time understanding them. So Judy's business has been focusing on that for years. As a matter of fact, it's NBC Nightly News has done a story on her. She's had other articles written about her. And that was great. But right now, in the midst of a pandemic, her clients who'd always been corporations are now have their budgets are all frozen. And so her challenge is, how do I reach out to individuals? She's even created a program that is more cost effective that an individual could afford, but now how do I find them, right, came up for her. That's her latest challenge is these people are working from home. They're not working from their office. How do I find them out there? So the the group, all got together, and as they were discussing her situation, we started to talk about, one of the women mentioned, did you know that LinkedIn has a daily rundown? And they usually produce 5 stories, and inside those 5, there's usually 4 or 5 stories or layers underneath that, to which she was unaware of. And now even the digital marketer on the group didn't know about this. So now what we put our brains together collectively and came up with some ideas as to how she could reach out to these people and offer them, these reporters, some stories that would help people who are feeling isolated during this time frame, is that there's a resource and that Judy's company is someone that could help them with these things. So my point is, this is the value of having a pod, because as the conversation started to bubble and everybody started to come up with other ideas, it started to go bigger and bigger and higher, and then the enthusiasm kicked in. And that's the benefit of something like this. It's no longer just me, an individual, sitting here in my own world trying to figure this out. Now I have the collective brain of what I call a pod, and people who are committed to seeing you succeed and are holding you accountable to the things that you promised to do. So stay tuned. Let's see what next week brings in this journey. Talk to you then. Take care.